Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make my new improved Forever Candles 2.0, and I'm going to show you not only how I made these but how to make it in a luxury version. So what makes this a forever candle? People look at that and they go, that's not a forever candle, you got to put fuel in it. The whole idea is the candle is forever because it uses carbon felt, which does not burn, and copper pipe. So the candle will last forever, but yes, you have to put fuel in it. Just like if you had a car that was made to last forever, it still requires fuel, but it is a forever car. So the first part of this candle is to start with the copper. This is a 1/2 inch copper tube. Now I originally saw this online, created by Robert Murray Smith, where he made this part with just the tube, and from there I said, ooh, I got an idea what I can do with that. He had showed people how you could take a piece of copper tubing like that and just let it set up in a dish full of oil and it'll work. But the thing is, you want to make it so it doesn't fall down. So what we're going to do is find my, here's my tool right here, and I'm going to measure about 1 3/4 inches, which is how much I'm going to cut. Let me move this to the side here and move these to the side for the time being. So we're going to measure about 1 3/4 inches. Just got to put it in this unit right here. This is a pipe cutter. With most of these things, I'm finding that I need 3 hands. 2 just doesn't seem to be enough. So what you do is you tighten that and you just turn it around the pipe. Now you're going to see as I get going, see that little line right there already? It's already cutting. And you turn it, about a 1/4 turn or till it's tight, a little more every few rounds. See how it's getting deeper? Ooh, it's going to fall. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go, perfect timing. So I got a little tube like that. So what you do then is we're going to take the carbon felt. And if you don't know where to get carbon felt, I have a link in the description below the video where you can get it. Now, carbon felt is not flammable. And just to show you, this is why it lasts forever. Let me go ahead and take my look at this. You'll see some of the particles getting hot. See smoke. But look, it's not burning. It's just smoke. And it goes away. So that's why it makes a great wick. It doesn't burn. It burns the vapors of whatever it sucks up. So we're going to get a little bit bigger piece than this. So I'm going to take some carbon felt and I'm going to measure this. It has to be very strategic measurements. That looks good. Okay. So we're going to get this, and because I'm going to be measuring it a little bit further as I go. So let's get this out of the way. So what I want to do is I want to make a couple strips to go through that pipe, probably, what is that, about a 1/2 inch? About 3/4 inch wide. This is going to be my wick. So I get 2 of them. And if it's not exact, don't worry about it. The wick doesn't care. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to just kind of fold it up and pass it right through this tube. So it comes out the other end. Now some people say you should flare the bottom or flare the top with a flaring tool. Well, that costs another 30 bucks, and I'm trying to show you how to do this inexpensively at home. It doesn't need to be flared. Okay, let me see if I can get in there. There we go. And then try to get them about even if you can. Oops, pulled the wrong one. There we go. See, they're about even. I'm going to pull it down there so it's about that deep. Now, this is going to go inside of the dish like this. I'm going to spread out these almost like legs, and that's going to absorb the fuel. Now, the legs are too big, so here's where I adjust it a little bit more. Look at that, huh? Get them even. So now, when I put that down there, you see how it's adjusting and it sits right in there? But yes, it's going to fall over, so we get that covered as well. But before I go any further, I want to show you something. One of the questions people say all the time is, Oh, this is going to be a fiery mess. It's a fire hazard. Well, I'm going to show you something about vegetable oil that you probably didn't know. Let me go ahead and take this one here, blow it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it right out of here for a minute. And I'm going to, oops, I lost my entire wick. I wanted to take it out with the wick. So it's too hot for me to deal with now. So guess what? I'll do it with the other one. This is why you call it an experiment. There's always something that goes wrong. Okay, so just so you can see how pretty this is, I have beads in the bottom. I'm taking it apart, so I want you to enjoy it now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is try to take this out with the wick. Okay, whoops. And the middle, there we go. Don't fall apart, don't fall apart, because I want to put this here for a very important reason. People say, oh, this is so flammable, you're going to make a flammable mess. Well, guess what? The flash point for vegetable oil is about 600 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty high when you think gasoline is about 45. So people say, well, what happens if it falls over in the oil? Well, let's go ahead and find out. We're going to light this up. A lot of the oil drained out since I picked it up. Okay, so what happens if it falls over? Get ready. It goes out. Isn't that amazing? Let's go ahead and pick it up again. Just in case somebody says, oh, that was a fluke. We go ahead and light it up again. And now I should have more oil on there because it just fell in the oil, right? Come on, let's get lit. Let's get it really lit good. There we go. Look at that. Okay, we'll let it burn more and more and more and more. And oh no, something happened. Somebody hit over the table and oh, look at that, it fell. It just goes out. So it's not going to be a fiery mess. So what's actually happening is you're not burning the oil, you're burning the vapors that get trapped as it goes up the wick and gets into the flame. So it's the vapors that are burning and not the oil. That's why when it knocked it over, yeah, the vapors were on fire, but the oil actually put it out. Let's go back to making this now. Here's my beautiful candle. What we're going to do is take this, we're going to put it in the middle. Get a little bit less. I don't want the wick to be too big. If the wick is too big, what happens is as it burns, well, initially you're probably going to have soot coming off it just from any particulate that might be left over on this when they made it. But after a very short time, that burns off. And when you do see soot coming out of it, it's because it's too long. It just needs to be trimmed down. And when it trims down, it'll be just like those other two candles that have fallen apart now. The flames are going to be smaller with no soot. The nice thing about having this much felt, though, they are a large flame for a candle. So I'm going to put that in there. Okay, let me get it even if I can so it looks pretty. And then what I'm going to do is, I have these beads. You can get these at the dollar store or most places. They come in all different colors, but since I'm using copper pipe, I'm going to have the gold beads here and see if I can make it look real pretty. And that's how it's going to be nice and classy. Nice jar like this. And what's the purpose of that? Pretty much to hold the candle upright. Okay? We just want to hold it upright. Now you don't want to do this with sand, because if you have sand or anything dense like that, it's going to stop the oil from wicking in the candle. You want to make sure there's enough oil. Okay. And just move that, wiggle that around so it gets in the middle.
There's one more pebble over there in the Ziploc bag.
Oh, one more pebble, I'm told. We can't have that. He's going to be lonely. There we go. Now, you can do this with pebbles. If you don't want to go get the pebbles, they cost like $1.25 or so. You can even, oops, like I made with the other one, you can even get these kind of beach rocks. I mean, you can mix in beach rocks with shells if you want. Anything you like. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to pour the oil in to, let's see, to cover up the candle, and also I'm going to pour it on the wick so it'll be easy to start. You don't need a lot of oil. I just put it so it's covering the rocks. And actually it's not really that deep because the rocks displace a lot of oil. And that's pretty much all there's to it. See how quickly that went on? Let's go ahead and light this thing. Sometimes it's difficult to light the first time because it's the heat that starts the capillary action. And look at that. You can see how the soot's coming up right now because it's a little high. But that soot, like I said, as soon as it burns off, will come down. We're going to give it a couple minutes. Matter of fact, I don't want my carbon monoxide alarm to go off, so I'm going to take it outside for a minute until that burns off. You can see I got it burning outside now, and there's really not much carbon coming off. See, most of it has come off already. Now, if you wanted, you could even cut the wick down a little bit more. I just love this thing. Isn't that beautiful? A couple more questions that I've gotten in the past from my other Forever candle is, what kind of oils can you use on it? Well, you can use vegetable oil. I like to use just a cheap old Crisco. It cost me like $2 for this thing. You can use canola oil. You can use olive oil. You can use, just don't use motor oil. Okay, so any kind of vegetable oil you can put in there. And how about essential oils? Well, I made one a little while ago with orange. And this one here, because I've been getting a sniffle from time to time, I'm going to use some eucalyptus oil. And all you do, now this stuff is flammable, so, but not just at a couple of drops at a time. Just let a couple drops go in. There's a drop there, drop there. There we go. So I'm going to be able to have that nice eucalyptus smell going through the room, and that's going to help to open up my sinuses. And one of the last questions that I seem to get an awful lot is, what about carbon monoxide? It puts off so much carbon monoxide. Actually, anything with an open flame puts off carbon monoxide. But because the wick is so tiny and because it's just a candle, it's very negligible. Like with anything, you should have a carbon monoxide detector in your house anyway, and you should use it in a ventilated room and don't leave it unattended. But it puts off about as much carbon monoxide as an oil lamp would. And as you know, people have been using oil lamps for years, even probably before electricity. So, not really something to worry about, but again, ventilation, always safety first. So I think I covered everything with my Forever Candle 2.0 Luxury Edition and the normal editions. Isn't it beautiful? You can make these with a glass. You can make them with little mason jars like I had there. You can make them with the real little mason jars. You can make them in tuna cans, or if you wanted, yes, even a sardine can. Matter of fact, the beauty of using a sardine can, you can put 2 of them in there. Have double the light. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask about it, go ahead and put them in the comments. And I'd like to ask you, what kind of changes or what kind of additions or variations would you do with this? Maybe we'll work on something like that later on. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you haven't. And if you'd like to support us to continue with these new projects, we do have a Patreon site at the link below. It keeps me in coffee. And you know I need caffeine. I love this thing. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye now. Gosh, you just want to drink it up, don't you? I better not. Look at that thing. Could use this in my next seance.